Hello, welcome back. So in this lecture, we shall practice a couple of questions for inner join. So the first question is, get the first name as HOD first name, last name as HOD last name, and specialization name as department of all the heads of the department. So if you look at the tables, it seems that we need faculty table and specialization table. So let's go to the table relationship image. I would suggest you to take a photocopy of it, take a printout so that it will be easier for you to have a 360-degree view of all the tables and how these tables are connected via foreign key and primary key from whatever tables. So in this case, we need faculty first name, last name, and specialization. So we can see specialization name is here, and these two tables are linked with ID and specialization ID. So for the faculty table, specialization ID is the foreign key, which is linked to the primary key, that is ID column in the specialization table. So we will need to join these two tables. So how to do this? Let's jump to the PG admin. So let's see what the faculty table has. And the question is that we want the name of the faculty that are head of the department. So for a faculty to be the head of the department, he or she shouldn't be reporting to anybody. So in this case, reports to should be null. So this is a condition that we shall have to put in. So let's write the code. So at the practice, we shall give an alias to the table name so that we do not have to repeatedly write the long table names as and when required. So we need to join the faculty table with the specialization table. Let's call it T2, and the basis of join will be T1. We have a specialization ID column in the faculty table that we call T1, and that is linked to the primary key in the specialization table, and the primary key is ID. And further, the condition is where faculty should be HOD. So for this condition to hold, T1 dot reports to column should have null values, is null. And the column that we want is, we are getting first name from the T1 table first, and let's call it HOD first name. Similarly, T2 dot last name as HOD last name, and then specialization name. We need a specialization name that will come from table T2. Specialization name as department. Okay, so let's run this query. There is some error. Okay, specialization spelling is wrong. Specialization, I hope it's correct now. Specialization line 4 error. Oh, sorry, it's a specialization ID. I hope it should run now. Yo. So we can see Paul Adams is the head of department of the finance department, Steve Roy is head of the operations department, and so on and so forth. Now let's see the second question. So get the first name, last name, and hometown of the students from India. So I believe we need student table. So let's go to the student table. So this is the table that we want, and we need hometown ID to get the city name. So these tables will be connected, student and city, to get the city name, and the students should be from India. So we need to connect these two tables as well to get the country name, where this is the condition, country name should be India. So again, let's back go back to pgadmin, select star from student table, let's call it T1. Let's see what are the columns. So these two last columns are the foreign keys that we need to connect to the respective tables. So if we look at the table relationship, we need to join this with the country table. Let's call this table T2, and we'll join on the foreign key primary key pair. So in the T1 table it is called country ID, and in the T2 table it is simply called ID. Again we join with the city table, let's call it T3, and T1 dot hometown ID is equal to T3 dot city ID. Okay, and now the final condition we need to put in, where the country name is India. Okay, all right, so we got information about these students who are from India, but we do not need all these columns. We only need first name, last name, and city name. City name is coming from T3 table, T3 dot city name. It is calling hometown, so let's call it hometown. Okay, I hope it should work. Awesome. So Manish Kholi is from Ghatkopar, Saurav Rai is from Ghatkopar, Rajiv Doval is from Jhumri Talaiya, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I hope it makes sense, and we shall meet in the next lecture. Till then, happy learning.